In the early morning hours of May 24th of 2011, San Diego 911 dispatchers would receive a distress call from a man reporting the discovery of three bodies in the backyard swimming pool of a residence at 162 Park Creek Court. Upon arrival, first responders found the body of an adult male, a teenage girl in a pool, and a small child submerged in a nearby jacuzzi. Before we dive deeper into this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a case. Now back to this tragic story, but in order for you to understand this case, I need you to travel back with me to May 24th, 2011 in San Diego, California. Alfredo and Georgina Pimienta were a devoted couple who had settled in San Diego, California. They had three children. Their eldest, Israel, who passed away as a toddler in 1998 due to a heart condition. Their daughter, Priscilla, aka Prissy, who was born in August of 1993, and their youngest daughter, Emily, aka Emmy, who was born in October of 2001. Alfredo worked hard as the owner of his own tow truck company, and the family was known for being exceptionally loving and close-knitted. Their eldest daughter, Priscilla, she was a high school senior who was eagerly anticipating her prom and graduation that year. She attended High Tech High School in Point Loma, California, and she was just weeks away from graduation. Her plans were to attend Sonoma State University in the fall. Her classmates often described her as the nicest person you'll ever meet, who got along with everyone. She was very outgoing, compassionate, and everyone loved her. Emily, their youngest, was a bright, spirited child, often called the diva and the princess of the family. Emily was a fourth grader who attended Valencia Park Elementary and was known as a friendly child who often rode her bicycle around the cul-de-sac of her home. She would play with the other local children in her neighborhood. She absolutely loved her family and enjoyed the close bond between her and her sister Prissy. The family were well regarded in their community as a happy family who would frequently host pool parties for friends and relatives. Family members remember the couple as being loving and devoted parents to their two daughters. But behind such an amazing family life and a beautiful, well-knit family lie another dark side, where Alfredo and Georgina battled their marital issues secretly, including dealing with the death of their first child, Israel. The couple was also secretly dealing with major financial troubles with their tow truck company, in which their business was going to expire on that May 30th of that month in 2011. On the night of May 23rd of 2011, Alfredo will make a phone call to his nephew Richard. Alfredo told his nephew that he would like to discuss a transaction for his tow business. He explained that he wanted to transfer the business into his nephew's name and asked him to arrive at his home the next morning so they can discuss it. He told his nephew Richard to be at his home around 5 a.m. the next morning. His nephew Richard told his uncle that he wouldn't be able to arrive that early, but he can come to the house around 8 a.m. instead. Alfredo agreed with that time and told his nephew when he come to come inside through the left gate where the pool was located instead of the front door, since the front door wasn't accessible. Alfredo and Richard then ended their call. Alfredo's nephew Richard then called his father and told him about the strange call that he received from his uncle Alfredo. Even though both men thought it was extremely strange and opted to call the police, neither one of them did, and they just brushed it off under the rug and kept going on with their day. Alfredo called his nephew Richard again very early the next morning still wanted to discuss transferring the tow truck business into his name. A little bit after 6 a.m. in the morning, Richard Nuno would arrive at his uncle's home at 162 Park Creek Court in San Diego. As he exited the vehicle, Richard complied with his uncle's directions and walked through the left gate where the pool was located. Upon arriving, he was met with a grisly scene. The body of 44-year-old Alfredo Pimienta was submerged in the family swimming pool. His body was weighed down by a tow hitch around his neck. His hands were handcuffed and bound behind his back, and his legs were tied with a yellow rope. 17-year-old Priscilla was also discovered submerged in the pool, face down and unresponsive. In the nearby jacuzzi, the couple's 9-year-old daughter Emily was face down and submerged into the water. Richard would quickly call 911 to report the horrific discovery, and upon arrival, first responders were rushed to the pool and pull out 44-year-old Alfredo and begin life-saving measures. They also pulled out 17-year-old Priscilla and began CPR, and then they pulled out little Emily from the jacuzzi to begin life-saving measures. As first responders would work hard to save all three family members, authorities would walk through the home and notice that a bathroom door was locked. They broke open the door and found 38-year-old Georgina submerged in the family's bathroom tub. She was prone on her right side when she was found in the bathtub, and under her body were folded documents located in the tub drain, and the water depth was about 10 inches. Rescuers will pull her out of the tub and begin chest compressions in hopes of saving her life. But unfortunately, Alfredo, Georgina, Priscilla, and Emily were all pronounced dead at the scene. When homicide detectives walked into the house, the happy family image completely vanished. What they found inside was a home deliberately set up for a tragedy. Inside the home, investigators discovered evidence that they believe that the tragedy had been carefully planned by Alfredo and Priscilla. They located correspondence detailing the family's final arrangements and specific instructions on regarding their burial. The scene contained several items, including a graduation dress that had been in a garment bag on the sofa with a note saying, "For the funeral." The graduation dress was intended for their daughter Priscilla to be buried in. Evidence at the crime scene suggests that the household medication, including an empty bottle of Tylenol sore throat nighttime medication that was left on the counter, had been utilized as a part of the events that transpired that morning. The bodies of Alfredo, Georgina, Priscilla, and Emily were all transported to the San Diego County Medical Examiner office, where the autopsies were conducted. The matter was referred to the medical examiner to determine the sequence of events and the cause of death for each family member. The reports provided a clearer picture of the final moments within the household. The medical examiner determined that Georgina's death was a homicide. Evidence indicated that a physical struggle had occurred prior to her death, which include toxicology reports that identified the presence of a sedative in her system. Her autopsy also concluded that she sustained multiple contusions of the face, upper back, and extremities. 2 milligrams of zolpidem was found in her system. They suggested that she was likely forcibly drowned in the bathtub. The investigation also concluded that 17-year-old Priscilla's death was also a result of homicide. Her injuries suggested that she had been restrained and involved in a physical altercation before she died. Priscilla suffered from blunt force injuries to the head and a contusion of the right arm and leg. She also had a small contusion of the wrist, which was consistent with binding. Cannabis was present in her toxicology report. The youngest member, Emily, her death was also ruled a homicide. Toxicology tests revealed extremely high levels of over-the-counter medication in her system, indicating that she was incapacitated prior to the final event. Emily had abrasions on the nose, right elbow, her right shin, and the right back of her muscle. Her toxicology report concluded that acute acetaminophen, Benadryl, and trazodone were found present in her system. Although she had high levels of medication in her system, ultimately her death was ruled as forcible drowning due to the fact that the effects of the medication didn't take an effect before she drowned. The final autopsy report concluded that Alfredo's death was a planned suicide. Evidence indicated that he was the last to die and had taken his own life following the deaths of his wife and his daughters. Investigators believe that both parents planned their family's deaths. The Pimienta family funeral was held on Tuesday, June 7, 2011 at 10 a.m. at the Victory Outreach Church in National City, California. Priscilla was dressed in her graduation dress, fulfilling the heartbreaking request left on her garment bag note. At the podium, hundreds of mourners from Priscilla and Emily's school would gather to read eulogies and share memories of the two innocent lives so tragically taken. To honor her memory, students from Priscilla's high school even went to prom barefoot, a touching tribute to Priscilla's love for walking around barefooted most of the time. Just 2 days before the tragedy, Emily's last Facebook post expressed how deeply she felt about her family. She was a happy, sweet, caring, and loving little princess, affectionately known as the family's little diva. We may never truly know what occurred on that tragic day when 4 lives were lost, but we do know that a beautiful family is no longer here to tell their story. Whether mental illness and depression played a part or not, 2 young lives suffered and their futures were stolen because those accountable did not seek intervention or ask for help. If you are currently dealing with depression, please know that you are not alone. You are loved, cared for, and appreciated. Do not let your mind take over your emotions. Please make sure you take deep breaths. Reset your mind and give it all to God. Lay it at the cross and don't pick it back up. Trust that God will see you through it. And remember, emotions are temporary and they fluctuate constantly. It is vital not to act on them before they are truly processed. It's okay for you to reset, regroup, rethink, and rejuvenate yourself. Your feelings are valid, but do not allow them to cloud your better judgment or place you in a position from which you cannot return. Most importantly, stay grounded and pray with God, and do not do anything without His discernment. Just know that God loves you very much, and so do I, and you will rise again from this. We are currently here at the Greenwood Memorial Park Cemetery in San Diego, California, visiting the final resting place of Alfredo, Georgina, Priscilla, and little Emily. Please continue to pray for the family of the Pimienta family. Unfortunately, justice won't be served here on earth, but I do believe we serve a higher power, and judgment is ultimately His. But rest in peace to the Pimienta family. May we advocate for you, through you, and about you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share for more of these cases and great content. Until next time, don't forget to love each other, pray for one another, and spread kindness to each other. Thanks for watching.